Louise here with another heart-to-heart, thoughts from the Father's heart to share with you. Again, we are confronted with different things that are coming out, different news, different decrees, different instructions, different updates. And I really feel like it's so important for us to keep updated with what God is doing. And He wants to keep us updated so that we keep our eyes firmly fixed on Him for the future, for our future, because He knows what is coming and He is preparing us for all things, for our personal lives and for His body, the church. So just something that I began to think about this morning was how important it is to be prepared for the things He is bringing our way. Not to just sit down and wait, not just to sit down and hope that all things will work out, but we need to be active in our faith, because faith is an action. Faith is a very important action. When we know and we trust our Lord that He is functioning on our behalf. It's a strange word, functioning, isn't it? But He is actually working on our behalf. He is putting things into order. He is changing things. He is bringing things towards us. He is preparing the way in front of us. And our responsibility is to first listen to Him, to spend time in His presence, to hear what He has to say about the current situation, to hear what He has to say about today, and to hear what He has to say about the future. Now, a lot of that is found in His Word. A lot of that, most of that, is found in His Word. And of course, it is about His promises for us, etc. But one of the things I believe is that during this time that we have had with Him, we have had so much opportunity to hear and to see new ideas, new adventures, new ventures, whether that is in a ministry or whether that is in everyday life, in business. There are so many new things happening, and those new things need to be prepared for. Those new things need to take form, because if God is speaking them, then it takes our part to bring them to pass as well, especially if He's calling us to be part of it. Our part may be prayer. For example, in the nations and everything the nations are facing, our part of prayer, of speaking into those situations to change them according to the will of God, is very important. Praying for the leaders of a nation. Not only that, but when we are in prayer, when we're in His presence, when we're listening to Him, He's giving us strategies. Some of us are called to go into the business world, in business, to be part of that and to make a difference, to impact it. Because at the moment, so much has changed. We know that. We say that over and over again. So much has changed and is changing, the new. So we often don't actually know what that looks like. You know, what does the new mean? If you're like me, we're in process, we're on the way, we're taking steps towards the new, and we're seeking God to hear what He has to say. What does the new look like? What does that mean to me? What does that mean to you? And so I think this is a very strategic time that we don't dull down, we don't sit down and just wait and see what happens. But we must be proactive. Whatever it is God is calling us to, we need to be proactive. Some of us will need to change the way we think. Some of us will need to embrace new things. For example, technology is so important in these days. I've really been drawn into it myself in a deeper way, and sometimes it's a bit of a struggle because I don't know enough, or maybe I think, oh, that's for the young people, or it's not something I want to get involved in. But if God is calling us into that area, to use technology, to use media, to use social media, to spread the gospel in some way, just like this. I never thought that I would be doing this kind of thing, but here I am, I'm doing it, I'm stepping out in obedience because God, I believe, has asked me to do it. I'm not trying to build anything, I'm not trying to get likes and followers, I just want to touch people's hearts with what God is saying. So I'm sure God has been speaking to each and every one of you how he wants you to go forward into the new. But we need the strategies, we need to be prepared, and that is that's an action. It's an action. We may need to learn things, learn new skills, or increase the skills we already have. We need to often change our mindsets, because our mindset influences so much of how we approach the new. Where we can be stuck and say, well, the old is good enough, it functions then. But this is a new season. God has said it and keeps saying it over and over again. So if we want to keep up with him, if we want to walk with him into this new season, then we need to be moving forward. That's called faith. Stepping forward, stepping out of the old, stepping into the new. It doesn't mean we despise the old, but this is a new time. So we need to grow forward. We need to go forward. We can live in the past and live in the glory of the past, or we can look forward and walk into the glory of the future. So I just leave you with those thoughts, that I believe God is encouraging us this day. These things are speeding up. The freedom of being released into the new in the fullness is upon us, and we need to be prepared. So I thank you for subscribing. I thank you for listening. I thank you for sharing. And as I say many times, please send me your responses, send me your reactions. These are important, because when we involve ourselves by saying, yes, I agree, or these are my thoughts that God has been giving me, or I need prayer for such and such, these are a way we can help one another and we can grow together as the body. Okay, until next time. Ciao.